Okay, folks, yesterday we started talking about graphing linear equations. And we're using the Desmos calculator to do all of this. We need to remember that for a linear equation, the graph is a line. So we are looking for a straight line to appear on the graph anytime we do this. We learned about something called the x-intercept, which is where the line crosses the x-axis. And then we also learned about the y-intercept, which is where the line crosses the y-axis. And we're using those 2 points, we're finding those 2 points on the calculator to help us to draw these graphs. So, quick review of what we did yesterday. We did things like y equals 2/3 x plus 6. Whoops. All right, so we go to our calculator, we hit the keypad on it, and we type that problem in exactly like we see it. So y equals, and then remember to put in 2/3, you hit this division key first to make your fraction bar. So then we put in our 2, whoops, too many 2's, and then our 3, and then we make sure that we get back out there beside the fraction before we type the x. So 2/3 x, and then plus 6. And over here on my graph, I can see my nice, pretty straight line. I can see that it has a positive slope. So those are some things that I know about it. Now, to get my x-intercept, I look at my x-axis going across, and I come over here to where the line hits the x-axis, and I click on that point. Well, can't seem to land on it. Okay, and I notice that my x-intercept is -9, 0. So I'm crossing the x-axis at -9, and then right up here is my y-intercept on the y-axis, and that is 0, 6. And then I can use those 2 points to help me copy the line that I see on the calculator onto my paper. Okay, so let's clear that one. Let's try another one. Let's do 2x minus 3y equals 6. We're going to get an x-intercept, and we're going to get a y-intercept. All right, so keyboard, type in exactly what you see. So 2x minus 3y equals 6. And there's our line. I think I'm going to zoom in a bit. Okay. So first I'll go to my x-axis and click on that point. I get 3, 0 for my x-intercept. And then I'll go on my y-axis and click on that point, and I get 0, -2. So this is just a quick review of what we did yesterday before we move on to something new today. We saw some things yesterday like this. X equals 7. So no y in it. Hit your keyboard, type in x equals 7, just like that. And notice what you get over here is this vertical line, which would have an undefined slope, remember. So now let's use the calculator to get our intercepts. On the x-axis, I'm crossing right there, which is 7, 0. But then when I look at my y-axis, I don't cross that at all. So for y-intercept, I would put none. I don't have a y-intercept for this line. And then finally, let's do y equals -5. All right, so keyboard, y equals -5. Notice I get this horizontal line down here. So notice this line is not crossing the x-axis. So there would be no x-intercept. And then I'm crossing the y-axis right there at 0, -5. So if they give you an equation and they ask you to graph it, or they ask you to find the x and the y intercepts, you can do all of that on this Desmos calculator over here. All right, so now that we know a little bit about linear equations, today we're going to take this one step further, okay? We are going to talk today about systems of equations. And apparently on this board I've only got two options. I can either write with that little skinny pen or this great old big one. And I think I'm going to have to go back to the skinny one because I can't fit much on here if I use this one. All right, now here's what you need to know. A system of equations is two equations on the same graph. So a system of equations is two equations that you're going to put on the same graph. And what they're going to ask you to do is to find the solution of the system. The solution to the system is the point or the points where the two lines intersect. So what's going to happen today is you're going to be given a system of equations. A system of equations is going to have two equations in it. So every single problem that you are given today is going to have two equations in it. To solve it, you are going to put it into your calculator and you are going to look for where the lines intersect. Where do they touch? So you're going to have two equations and you're going to look for where those two lines intersect each other. That is the solution. All right, so here's what we're talking about. All right, first equation, y equals x minus 8. Second equation, y equals negative 2x plus 1. And what we're going to do is we're going to look for the solution. Okay, so here we go. We go to the Desmos calculator. We get our keyboard. We're going to put that first equation in. Y equals x minus 8. So you'll notice that line is displayed in black over here on my graph. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to come down here, I'm going to hit this blue enter button because I have another equation to put in. And I'm going to put in y equals negative 2x plus 1. And notice it graphed that one in red. So to find the solution for the system, this is a system, by the way, because both of these equations are together and they're on the same graph. To find the solution, I look for where the red line and the black line intersect each other, which notice is right there. So I'm going to click on that point, and that point is the solution. So when they ask me for the solution, I'm going to come over here, and I'm going to put that it's the ordered pair 3, negative 5. So it's as simple as that. It's a system because there are two equations, and to get the solution, we graph both on the same coordinate plane. We put them both on the same graph, and we look for where those two lines meet, for where they cross. So system means two. To solve it, you graph and see where the two lines meet. All right, so there's one done. Let's do another one. I'm going to clear both of these over here and get ready for a new problem. This time, let's do y equals 1/2 x plus 9 for our first equation, and y equals negative x plus 6 for the other. And again, we're looking for the solution, which means where the two lines are going to meet. Where do they intersect? So, keyboard, type in the first equation. Y equals, to put in 1/2, I'm going to hit my divided by symbol first. Put 1 on the top, 2 on the bottom, and then get out here beside that to put in my x. So 1/2 x plus 9. That line is shown in blue. Hit enter to get a new line. Then we're going to do our second equation, y equals a negative x plus 6. So both graphs are shown over here on my coordinate plane, one in green, one in blue. To find the solution, I want to know where the green line and the blue line intersect, which is right there. Click on that, and I see that the solution for this system is negative 2, 8. Negative 2, 8. All right, next up, let's do negative 3x plus y is equal to 8. Negative x plus y is equal to negative 2. All right, equation number 1, let's type it in. Negative 3x plus y equals 8. Line shown in purple. Hit enter. Do the second one, negative x plus y equals negative 2. That line is shown in black. I'm looking for where the purple line and the black line intersect, which is right here. So if you'll click on that point, then you find out that the solution is the ordered pair, negative 5, negative 7. Hopefully you'll find this to be very, very easy. I want you to use the calculator. And on these problems today, I'm not even going to make you graph on paper. I just want that solution. I just want that point where the two lines intersect. All right, next up, x plus 3y equals negative 15. Y equals a negative 7. So those are my two equations, which makes it a system. And I'm looking for the solution. So first equation goes in, x plus 3y equals a negative 15. Notice that line is shown in red. Second equation is y equals negative 7, shown in blue. So over here I see my two lines. I see the red, I see the blue. To get the solution, I want to know where they cross, which is right here. So when I click on that point, I find out the solution would be the point 6, negative 7. So just to kind of reiterate, because there's not a lot of work to show here, not a lot you have to do. These are systems because there are two problems that you're graphing together, and the solution is where the two lines intersect. All right, now I need to show you two more problems, and these two are going to be a little bit different. So let me show you these. All right, let's say I have x plus 2y is equal to 4. And y equals a negative 1/2 x plus 2. Okay, so let's put in that first problem. We're going to do x plus 2y equals 4. So there's my green line. All right, enter, and now let's do the second one, y equals, then we want a negative, And now we're ready to put in our fraction. So we're going to hit our divided by symbol and put in 1 over 2. Don't forget to put yourself out here beside the fraction before you put in that x. And then we've got plus 2. Now, I hope you noticed there. Let me back up a step. All right. There was that green line that we originally had in. Here was our purple line. You saw him moving around. Watch what happens when I hit plus 2. I hope you noticed that he landed right on top of that green line. Right on top of it. So these two lines are actually the same line. Ooh, you can't read that. Those two are actually the same line. So they didn't cross like all of the others that we had just graphed. They didn't do that. Those two lines are the same line. One landed on top of the other. When that happens, your solution is actually infinite because those two lines have every single point in common. That point is on both lines. That point is on both lines. All of these down through here, you can see that touching are on both lines. So if the two lines land on top of each other, they are the same line, then your solution is infinite. All right, one last one. Let's do y equals x plus 5 and x minus y equals 2. Clear these two out. All right, first problem is y equals x plus 5. It's in red. And then x minus y equals 2. Equals 2. Shown in blue. Now this time what I want you to notice is these two lines are side by side and they don't cross. You all will remember that those are called parallel lines. Those were called parallel lines, and notice they don't cross. And remember, where they cross, that is the solution. So this problem would actually be no solution. No solution because those lines do not cross. All right, so we're doing this all with the calculator. You need to know that a system is two equations. And what we have seen here is that there are three things that could happen. The two lines can cross, and if they do, that point right there where they cross is the solution, and it's an ordered pair. And then we saw these last two examples where it's the same line. You only see one line. That's infinite. And then in this last example, you saw parallel lines, which is no solution because they don't intersect. So you're either going to get an ordered pair if the two lines make an X. You're going to get infinite if you only see one line. You're going to get no solution if you see parallel lines. All right, so give these problems a try using your calculator. And please, 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 if you have questions, be sure and let me know. I'll be checking my email often on Monday to see if there are any questions.